It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book. Hi, everybody. It's your old pal, Uncle Ryan, here with another page of my first graphic novel that I'm inking just about every day. My book, Bonehead. We're on page 94, in which Bonehead's buddy Mort, that guy, tackles this workplace snitch, workplace suck-up, Neinerman. He tackles him, takes off his glasses, throws them down the hall, and then he gets caught by his boss because he's not supposed to be in the building right now. Mort isn't supposed to be. We're gonna ink. Whoa. Picture in a picture, picture in a picture in a picture in a picture. Let's see. My oh my gosh. My laptop here has been really thinking about letting me start this stream for the longest time. I need a new setup, I think. So I've just been paneling pages while it thought about it. While it thought about letting me do this stream. I think the answer to all my problems is new setup. Let's speak of setup. What's the best course of displaying this? Here we go. But it's like, who wants to buy a new computer? I mean, everybody wants new stuff, right? But Jiminy Christmas, that stuff's expensive. It's like there's generally nothing wrong with this computer that I'm using until I'm trying to do something. But like 90% of the time, it's fine. Perfectly operable and cooperative. And then I'm trying to do a show or get something done, and then it gets bogged down all of a sudden. And not even all the time. Just like, I don't know, often enough to drive me mad. I'm doing a lot of complaining lately. But life is good. In spite of all the complaining I do, I'm a happy guy. I want for nothing. The comfort and joy I get to have every day of my life is astounding. I want for nothing. If I really want a new computer, all I have to do is reach into my pocket and pay for it. Because I have a paying job, I have a car that is running, and it's paid off. That car is air conditioned. My house is air conditioned. I have a house. I have a big family that loves me, that I love. I never go to bed hungry. And if I do, it's simply out of laziness. Because even in the hardest, like pretty, as far as I have recognized anyway, the roughest economy I've seen, been conscious for, been aware of, where like you go into stores and whole shelves are empty. Even then, there's like, I will not go hungry. If I want something, all I have to do is go get it. What an age to be alive. Shouldn't how dare I complain about anything? I'm blessed beyond my own comprehension, and you are too. I try to remember that all the time. Try to remind myself. Oh, also, I get to draw every day. What a good life. Here, I'm gonna let's see, Oh, I was gonna. Sorry, I'm trying to send the link to one more group of people. So I never. There's the thing. And I'm gonna do this link in case they just want to come in the chat. Or this one. There we go. Okay. Yeah. I always think like, no, don't bother sending it to this person. Don't bother sending it to this person. And then I get on here and I'm like, what am I going to talk about forever? For the next 2 hours, usually. So I'm like, yeah, I better send it to these people after all. Even though, ain't nobody want to talk to me. I don't always see subscribers when they sign up on YouTube. I always see the subscribers sign up on Twitch because it sends me an email and tells me. But it seems to obscure the names of new subscribers for YouTube sometimes, I think. But that the Vucky guy that I was talking to yesterday, subscribed. Thank you. I appreciate it. The past few days, I've been talking to a lot of new subscribers, which is exciting. So I've been drawing this book for like 6 months, I think. Maybe 5, I think, is what I was realizing yesterday. I've been live streaming for 6 months. I think I've been drawing the book for 5. Been inking the book for 5 months. And this is page 94. But it's probably about 100, 110 that I've inked, including covers and stuff like that. And extra pages that I've added in. So every day I'm just trying to ink a page if I can. Though I've missed a few days this month. Mostly because it's like if I can't get the 2 hours that it usually takes me to ink a page, I usually can't. I usually don't make it happen. But I'm thinking I'm probably gonna try to at least, if I can't get a full page in, at least get a panel in and do like a 15-minute stream or something from here on out. Because something's better than nothing. And I really need to keep chipping away at this project. And I'm trying to ink the whole thing live. But it's like if I can't get on, it slows down. If I can't get on to YouTube or something, it just slows the whole project down. like today, I was having trouble starting the stream. I was like sitting here for an hour. And I just started paneling pages, like doing the panel borders. There's always something else to work on. There's these like, what do you call these? They're like strip fluorescent lights. Famous for being at work. Okay, so this guy thinks he's getting away. So what's going on is this guy's gonna tattle on Mort that he's in the building after hours when he shouldn't be. Though I don't know why this guy's allowed to be there right now. But that's okay. He's probably picking up extra work because he's like a company suck up. But so yeah, he's running to tell on Mort. This guy Nienerman is telling on Mort for being there after hours, and Mort's trying to catch him to shut him up, to stop him. So I really need to do multiple pages today if I can possibly help it. And I think yeah. You know what I think? You know what I really think bogs down my computer and makes the whole setup daunting to me. I think it's running Adobe and trying to start the show at the same time. So like when I go into Photoshop and make the thumbnail art, I think that's what's slowing down production. Like I think that's what bogged it down today. So maybe if I just don't worry about that right away and then put it up after the fact, I think that would maybe solve my problems. It's worth a shot. I like doing the thumbnail art because it's more grabby. It helps it pop. Though I've only been alternating between two images lately. I think I should. If it does seem to help, I think I should just go through and make a bunch of thumbnail arts after the fact and then put them on. When I get a chance, instead of right before I'm trying to go on, and then it takes forever. Because, like I said, it doesn't always do it, but it's usually when Photoshop is open, everything goes wonky. Man, I was hoping my brothers would come in here. They're all at work on a Thursday morning, early afternoon now. I've been trying to get on since morning, if you'll believe me. Well, it's not entirely true. I mean, I have been trying to get started, but I've been actively trying to start the stream it was probably like 45 minutes before I actually got on. Or more. I think it was more. So I thought of a movie I didn't think of yesterday that I like. Evil Dead, and or rather, not so much Evil Dead, but Evil Dead 2, and then Evil Dead 3: Army of Darkness. Those were always huge for me. Evil Dead 2 was my favorite movie for a while. Come to think of it, I just remembered Mallrats was one of my favorite movies for a while. I like Mallrats. Kevin Smith. I used to like Kevin Smith more than I do now. Oh, I liked Chasing Amy, I recall, but I don't really remember it too well. I've only seen that one once. Another movie from like 96, 99 was that movie Idle Hands. Remember that? I really liked that when it came out, when I first saw it. And it was like years had passed. Let me see when that's from. It's 1999, okay. Years had passed. I think it was like 2006. It came on TV. I was like, oh, I love this movie. Gotta see it. It came on. I watched it, and I was like, this is the dumbest movie I've ever seen. I hate this movie. With Devon Sawa. Oh, Final Destination. I liked Final Destination. Yeah, it's funny. Like, there's it was like stuff from when I was like like 10 to 20 seems to be like the age that all my favorite movies came out. And then I just stopped watching movies altogether for the most part. Here's Mort. I need this shoulder to come around. Because his... Ooh, I don't have a point on this brush. Usually... So I've got this... I gotta be careful because there's a bottle cap with my ink in it. And it's really full. So I don't want to spill it. But... So... I'm always trying to keep... You can't see it. Camera has one job. Focus! Hey, Sucka. Sucka. Okay, anyway, you get what you're looking at, right? I'm too close to it, I think. But, so a lot of times this tip that I'm going for breaks apart and it just gets kind of blunt at the end. And then, but I need, especially for fine lines, I need a fine tip. I need it to be easy to work with. So a lot of times off screen, what I'm doing is I'll dip it in fresh ink, and I just twirl my brush, twirl it, and I'm trying to get it tighter. Right now it's okay. Yeah, okay, that's what I need. It's like even if the stroke that I do isn't a very fine one, I can see if the tip is a nice pointy tip. I can usually see if it's what I need because I can get a range of lines out of a real fine tip. I want the outline to be a little thicker. I forgot about this. I shouldn't be doing, I generally am not doing, thought bubbles or voice bubbles at this stage. I'm mostly just doing like the onomatopoeias. Like later on this page, he drops them and he goes, clud. This is going to be one of the few hand-drawn voice speech bubbles in the book. Saying, gotcha. I'm not going to do that with a brush. I'm going to do this with the pen. So actually, yeah, usually when I do the panels, I do the panels with a multi-liner pen like this and a ruler. And then after I finish the panels, I'll usually go ahead and do all the onomatopoeias with the multi-liner pen as well. So I didn't do that. This is a Copic multi-liner black 0.5, and it's a whole set. Some of them are floating around in my drawer, but a whole set of different sizes. Same with this one. This is a Copic multi-liner SP. I don't really know what the difference is with the SP. This is also a 0.5. That's the size I use for the panels and inking these words here. So, but yeah, I don't know what the difference is between the Copic multi-liner and the, I guess this might be called Copic multi-liner black, and the other one is called Copic multi-liner SP. Don't even know the difference, but I do know that I prefer to use that other one with for the panels because it gets a bit thicker. These panel borders, it is kind of varying widths, so maybe I won't use that one anymore because the tip is a little. I liked using this one because it's a little wider from use. Oh, brother, this camera will not focus. I need it to, but it's a little wider from use, and it's kind of a little broken, you might say. It's not exactly broken. It's like perfectly usable, but I think I was having trouble getting a consistent line for this page, so I might not use it anymore for that. Maybe I'll use a thicker one from this set. There's a 0.8 and a 1.0. So maybe I'll use that from here on out. Because the panels generally, I wanted a little more consistent than that. So I had fun coming up with the onomatopoeias for this book. It was like one of my favorite things to do while I was drawing these pages. Was come up with good sound effects. Clud. Sometimes they're pretty standard. Like I know there's a boink somewhere in here, or a bonk. But I had a lot of fun making ones up. Like verm. No, verp. I think there's a verp in here. So most of the rest of the speech bubbles that I do in this book, they're all going to be digital. Digitally drawn in Photoshop or something. and lettered in Photoshop. I'd like to get my own font to letter the book. I started one that it was like through some like app. I made a font that I called Bonehead, and I've used it. I've used it in my Bonehead cartoon that I made in the credits and stuff. My problem with it is it's not so like I would have to custom I don't know, what do you call it, kerning. I'd have to like adjust the kerning and stuff, like the spacing up and down, side to side of the letters. I mean, it looks fine. Some of the letters are too far apart from other letters, and there's a lot of customization you can do to a font to make it more uh, dynamic. You can make it more versatile. I don't know. Like when certain letters are next to certain letters, they'll connect, or they'll be closer together than they otherwise would be to other letters. And you can also do like when this is next to this one, this letter is smaller, things like that. Now, I don't know nothing about finessing a font, but I'd like to look into doing that with the font that I made. He's got another hand coming around here. Ooh. I'm losing my point. Erect. I don't mind worry following me like a dinosaur. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm so excited. So earlier this week I was talking about this artist Betty Boo, who I discovered maybe 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I found a cassette tape at a thrift store because my car had a cassette player at the time, and I thought it was this album called "Grr, It's Betty Boo," and I I thought it looked cool, and so I bought it, and I loved it so. And I like later on, I would look into her to find that she only ever put out 2 albums in the 90s. And it's kind of like hip hoppy, kind of poppy. Um, she's kind of like she's got this like cutesy kind of singing, and there's samples, and it's kind of rappy a little bit. But it's really fun music. Anyway, she only put out 2 albums in the 90s. The second one being Grr, It's Betty Boo. The first one is called Boo Mania. And I think her biggest hit was on Boo Mania, and it was called Doing the Do. And then, so anyway, but the second album came out in 1992. And I went on to Spotify the other day, I think on Sunday. I think it was Saturday. This actually happened, but I found out about it Sunday morning, and I open Spotify and I see newest release from Betty Boo. I was like, Betty Boo, she hasn't put out anything in 30 years to the day. Well, she put out a new single this week called Get Me to the Weekend. And it sounds so much like it could be on her other albums. It's so good. I'm so happy. I love her so. And she's I just saw on Twitter, she's saying that the official video for Get Me to the Weekend will premiere on YouTube tomorrow at midday, which she's in England. So whatever that is. But I'm excited. And she said somewhere that she's got a bunch of singles that she's going to be releasing between now and the spring. And then she's working on a couple albums that they're going to be on. So I'm excited for Betty Boo. That's what's getting me out of bed. So I had never heard of her before I found that cassette. But I am so glad I impulsively, I mean, I was at a thrift store. I was there to impulsively buy stuff. But mostly I was just buying like little knickknacks. But I'm so glad. And the weird thing was, like, I don't think any other tapes or music was where I found that. It was just on a shelf next to like some jewelry or something like that. I was like, that looks cool. And I just grabbed it. And it was like, I guess I put on side 2 first because I remember one of it had to be the second song on side 2 of the tape. I think when I was talking about it earlier, it was called Gave You the Boo. And me and my roommate, we were just like really into that song. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Gave you the boo. Don't know about you, but I'm on my way. I'm not going back, not going to stay. So I will buy whatever she puts out from here on, from heretofore. That is my vow to Betty Boo. I am in full support of my beloved Betty Boo. And I was like, okay, she's putting out new stuff. Where has she been for 30 years? What happened? I guess she retired her solo career when her mom died of cancer in 1995. And she's just been like writing pop songs for like other girl bands and stuff like that. But yeah, she hasn't done any solo work in all this time. But then she was saying, and I can relate to this because it's kind of my deal too. Like when she turned 50, she was just like, it kind of lit a fire under her. Like, wait, what about all this stuff that I want to do? Because when I turned 30, that was kind of my thing. I was like, oh my gosh, my 20s are gone. And I still haven't done all of that stuff that I said I was going to do. So don't wait till you're 30. Don't wait till you're 50. I will say, if you find yourself at 30, 40, 50, it's not too late to do your thing today. But don't wait for it, because I always say this. My dad always said, you'll be 21 before you know it. And then I turned 21 before I knew it. But what he hadn't prepared me for was the rest of my 20s were right behind it. I didn't see that coming. My 20s went by like that. So don't wait. Do your stuff today. There's something going on here. I thought his arm was over here. This guy's arm. That's just part of his collar. That's what that line is supposed to be. So this isn't his arm. I'm gonna have to white some of this out. Because his arm is down here. This is a Sakura Jelly Roll number 8, a white pen. Gotta fuss with it to get it to do what you want to do sometimes. Also, it helps if you wait and let your ink dry before you start trying to use it. Here, I'll do that. Gotcha. So I think so I did make I was talking about it a little bit yesterday. I made a Bonehead animated pilot type thing a couple years ago. I made it all myself, so it's like not the best animated thing in the world, even though I went to school for animation. But I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so I voiced all the characters in it, except I also re-recorded my brother doing the main character's vocals. So he does the main Bonehead's voice, my brother Liam, and then and Petunia has one line in it. Bonehead's girlfriend in this book. She has one line in the cartoon that I made, voiced by my sister-in-law, Allie. But I voice all these characters. I voice a slug waitress named Gladys, and she talks a little something like this. She kind of sounds like Bev Bighead. Because I'm a huge fan of Charlie Adler's voice acting. He did Ed and Bev Bighead. He did on Rocko's Modern Life, that is. A lot of the Bonehead cartoon was influenced and inspired by Rocko's Modern Life. I was trying to go for a very Rocko's Modern Life feel with it. Or a little bit of SpongeBob-y. And it's kind of you would see exactly what I mean if you saw it, which I will put up here some ding dong day. Cashews. Oh, I'm trying to talk about the voices I did in the cartoon, and I throw a bunch of cashews in my mouth. So I did Gladys, the slug waitress, and I also did Mort, and he sounds kind of like this. And gee, Bonehead, what do you want to do today? Gee, Bonehead, that doesn't seem like a very good idea. He'd say things like, "You're out of your gourd if you think I'm getting into that thing." Or, "He can't even talk to a pretty girl without going all clammy." That was a line that was supposed to be in the script, and then it never made it into the script, and I wish it did, because it's totally something more sounding. Like, I found it in a notebook after I made the cartoon. I was like, oh, I meant to put that in the script. He can't even talk to a pretty girl without going all clammy. And I didn't realize it at the time. I thought he was mostly based on Teddy from Bob's Burgers, but I realized later he's kind of his voice kind of comes from Cliff from Cheers too. You know, John Ratzenberger. Ah, gee, Nami. Hey, gee there, Frage. What's I don't know what the heck he says. I haven't seen Cheers in a bit now. But when I was making Bonehead, the cartoon that is, I was watching a lot of Cheers, and when I like came up with Mort's voice, I was watching a lot of Cheers. But I didn't realize that's kind of what I was doing until like 2 years later. I think it was just like a couple months ago I realized I was kind of doing Cliff from Cheers. He's really funny on Cheers. He's like this know-it-all, smart aleck mailman. And he's best friends with Norm, George Wendt's character. Anyway, what else do I do? I do Mr. Shivers. You see, Bonehead, time is money, and money, well, that's just another fancy word for power. So you can imagine how I feel about you wasting my time and money. Is one thing he says. Oh, and I also voice who else is in that cartoon? Ratso. The Bonehead's obese, rotund rat landlord. And his is kind of a Charlie Adler voice too. It's like, Bonehead, Bonehead, I need your rent. And then there was this this Norton the bus driver that was inspired directly from a bus driver in an episode of Rocko's Modern Life. But his voice was inspired by David Herman, who does a lot of voices on Futurama, and he does a lot of voices on Bob's Burgers. And he was also Michael Bolton in the movie Office Space, which is another movie I like a lot. And he kind of talks like this. Oh, he also voices Chickenfoot in Invader Zim. And don't look at me. But I said don't look at me. What's something the bus driver says? Norton the bus driver. I don't like being nice. And he closes the doors on the bus and speeds away. But I think Mort is kind of my favorite one to do. When I think of stuff to say in his voice, he's probably my favorite voice to do. Oh, there you are. Oh, look at you. What big teeth you have. Right this way, Duel. Charlie Adler is one of my voice acting heroes. But also Billy West did. Okay, so Charlie Adler did. I think he just does voice directing for the most part anymore. Though he was in the new Rugrats a little bit. It was the first voice acting I've heard of his in a long dang time. But he was Ed and Bev Bighead on Rocko's Modern Life. He was. I feel like he was somebody else notable on Rocko, but he was. Ickis on Real Monsters. He was Cow Chicken, the red guy, on Cow and Chicken. I mean, insane vocal choices. That's what blows me away about him. Like, if you hear any of those characters, it's like, who acts like that? Ooh, how do you make those decisions? He's insane. I love it. Like, listen to him as the red guy. It's out of this world, out of this entire damn world. And also Billy West, I'm huge on. He still voices the red M&M. He was the Honey Nut Cheerios bee, and he was also Doug Funny on Doug. He was Ren and Stimpy for most of Ren and Stimpy. He didn't voice Ren in the beginning, but anytime you hear that that crazy laugh that I'm not going to try and do into the mic right now because I would have to scream bloody murder to do that laugh. But that's always Billy West. I do one of those as the bus driver. I do one of those in the cartoon that I made. Like I had to like listen to Ren Hoek do it in Ren and Stimpy before I could pull it off. I had to like listen to it a few times and practice for a while before I could pull it off. But that scream laughter, that insane scream laughter that they did on Ren and Stimpy all the time. Like I said, it's not something anybody wants me to try and do into the mic right now. But what else? So Billy West, he was Fry on Futurama. He's the jester in what do you call it? Disenchantment. He was Bugs Bunny and I think Elmer Fudd in the first Space Jam movie. I love Billy West so much, and I met him a number of years ago. Well, I met him 2019. I drove 6 hours out to Detroit Comic Con just to meet him. But I also met Tim Jacobus, the guy who did the Goosebump book covers. And I met Bob Camp, who directed a lot of Ren and Stimpy and I believe storyboarded a lot of it. And he was the showrunner after John Kay left. I met Bob Camp and his girlfriend. And they were really nice to me. All these people were really nice to me. I met Charles Martinet, who is the guy who voices Mario. I got him to do a little video with me where he told my brother that my brother Liam, who comes on the show from time to time, he did a video standing next to me where he goes, "Your brother, he says you number one." He calls him Super Liam, and that was really cool because I was trying to get Liam to come with me to that because Charles Martinet was going to be there, and he's a big Mario guy, and he couldn't make it. So right as I was standing in line to meet Billy West, my hero, I realize I'm standing right next to the line for Charles Martinet, and he was just like signing stuff, and like all the while, like while I'm standing in line for Billy West, I'm just hearing like ding ding dong ding dong boing ba doo doo. Like he's just making all these like little Nintendo noises, like a mental patient almost. And I'm just like, I gotta meet that guy. I gotta do something for. I gotta get something for Liam. Is what I was really thinking. And it, you know what? Whatever it cost me to get that little video message, I think it was like $30 or something. It was like the last $30 in my pocket that day. So it was just like cool. I got him just what I was hoping to get, and like by the skin of my teeth, I was able to do something nice for Liam. So these are like anime speed lines. But he was really nice. He was so tall, I feel like. He was really tall. Billy West, short. Billy West was shorter than me, and I'm 5'7". Let me see. I wonder if I can find out how tall he is. Billy West height. 5'4". Jimmy Christmas. I didn't realize he was that short. I'm not trying to do necessarily parallel lines here. I'm just going for like gestural but imperfect. I mean, I don't think it would be bad to do like perfectly even parallel lines, but I'm kind of banking on the fact that my style is kind of imperfect to begin with. It's a little messy, which, you know, I don't advise people just off the bat count on being sloppy or anything working for you. Because but I do think, like, I'm still using a ruler here. Like, I started to knot, and then I was like, no, that's not going to work for me. But I got to do what services the project, because I don't like pulling out a ruler for the art. Somebody's here. I'm going to mute. Booyah. It was, I thought it might be like one of my neighbors, or, like someone from my, I don't know, the board of figures that make up all the rules in the neighborhood. But it was just some guy going around getting signatures for some Republican candidate. Running for something. Her platform was that she's trying to get she's trying to what was it? Get more kids that were graduating from high school and college into staying here in Illinois, like being able to find jobs for people here, which I think that's a good thing. I don't know. I'm such a layman with politics, but I thought that was worth signing in the moment. I was actually asking him for literature if I could like look into it and sign later, but he didn't have anything left. So he just showed me the one that he had, and I was like, all right. I mean, if it gets you, like I think the signatures were just for them to be a candidate to be voted for. I thought she sounded nice, I guess. Oh, I don't want to do all the artwork for the page with the pen. She probably eats babies. That's what I'll find out when they actually vote her in. She's like, I believe in no rights for anyone in this county. I'll be like, ah, shoot. I signed a thing for her. Big bad Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Does anyone remember Big Bad Beetleborgs? It was like a knockoff Power Rangers. But if you look it up, it's the most confounding myriad of like concepts all crammed together. So they're like, okay, so it's like they're like Power Rangers, right? They're like Beetle themed Power Rangers. There's three of them. And then, so there's a green one, a blue one, and a pink one. And, but it's also kind of like comic book themed. And, their like hub, their like team hub is in a haunted house. And, their kind of leader, like like Power Rangers had Zordon. These guys have a ghost who is like a Jay Leno, Elvis, Robin Williams type ghost guy who's also dressed kind of like the Joker. And there's also a mummy guy, a vampire guy, and I think a werewolf guy that live in this house. And I don't think they ever did any of the missions like that the Beetleborg guys would do. I think they were just there for comedic relief when they went back to their base, which was a haunted house. And I'm gonna Let me see if I can share screen, right? Let me see if I can look this up real quick. I'm gonna look up Big Bad Beetleborgs. Theme. Okay.
You booked a sunny Verbo ski
hold
chalet.
on. I didn't
Endless views of snow-covered lakes. But the thing you'll remember forever.
my computer is doing the thing where it's not cooperating. I was trying to mute that commercial. Let's see. Can I do it from here? Sorry, I didn't realize my arm was all across the screen like that. Share screen. Let's see. I want. Let me close. Sorry, I haven't done this before. Whoa! Okay. We're doing. Oh, that's. Dang it. How about this?
This is a dream. Let's make it a good one. Let's be superheroes.
How about this? How about this? Here we go. Whoa! Did that make you happy? Did that look like fun to you? Beetleborg. Vampire. Beetleborg. So it's like, yeah, the Jay Leno, Patch Adams, Elvis ghost guy named Flabber, I believe his name was. And then there was it was a Frankenstein guy, a werewolf guy, and a vampire guy. So not a mummy, I don't think. I don't think I saw a mummy. I think it was another Bandai property, like Power Rangers. But this one wasn't like I'm pretty sure it wasn't like footage from an existing Japanese show, like Power Rangers was. I think it was like them doing one from scratch. But it's like, what coked up exec? I don't know. Like who dreamed up that many things and to put together? So, Big Bad Beetleborgs. I never really. I guess I watched the show. I don't remember it at all, really, besides all those components. I know I had a toy of the blue one, and my brother had the green one. And they had the flippy heads like the Power Rangers did. Like it was owned by Bandai. I'm pretty certain of that. But like when I was like, what was that about? And I looked up that theme song, and I was like, I still don't know what it's about. I mean, it's so many things. Too many things? Can you have too many things? Big Bad Beetleborgs found a way. Hi, let me sleep. Did you see that that little opening for Beetleborgs that I just played? That was like the weirdest. Like I didn't even remember it being that weird until I looked it up one day. Welcome. Let me sleep. I've been getting a lot of new people in here the past few days. I don't know what's changed, but whatever it is, it's getting me viewers, I guess. And let's see. Oh, thank you very much. I'm doing my best. This is page 94 of my first graphic novel called Bonehead that I'm trying to make. I'm learning by doing. Yeah. So I was saying earlier, like I turned 30 4 years ago, and when I turned 30, I was like, oh man, I was saying that, like, my dad always said you'll be 21 before you know it, and what he didn't tell me was the rest of my 20s were right behind it. And so I started feeling like very unaccomplished at that, like, once I turned 30. I was like, I never did all these all these things I always wanted to do. And so I've been trying to make all these personal projects, um what do you call them, like these dream projects since then. Like, I made a 16-minute animated cartoon. It's not posted anywhere yet, but I made a 16-minute cartoon, and then I started making this book. I was like, I'm just going to keep making projects in my free time. Like, all the stuff I always said I was going to do and never did. Because before I know it, I'll be 40. Yeah, I was I was in like a kind of an honors art program in high school, and then I went to college for animation. And even when I was a little kid, I was always drawing. But it was like, as much as I was always drawing, I kind of never finished anything, and I was always like, I didn't really have anything to show for it, and I always wanted to have like a cartoon show and stuff. But like most artists, I think I was very flaky about actually doing anything. So my advice to artists is do it. Draw. So I'm here drawing the book. And I try to stream I try to do a page a day. But I have been missing a lot of days this month. This is kind of wonky for my liking. Oh, cool. 3D VR? You're going to learn how to do that? That's cool. See, I was trying to do 2D characters. My school even closed down since I've been there, or since I went there. But I was going to college for animation, and it was like most of my classes ended up being 3D courses. And I still barely know how to do anything in 3D programs. But I was kind of dismayed because I that wasn't what I was ever trying to do. Video games, VR, and cinema, cartoon, or maybe graphic design. It's really cool, and I know some people who've gotten into it, and they're like, they've got credits in movies and stuff. That's pretty cool. I can I don't have a head for it myself, the 3D stuff or the programming stuff. I barely am able to pull off 2D stuff sometimes. Let's see. So this is the main character's buddy, and they went back into the factory that they work at after hours, and they're not supposed to be there. And this guy was going to tell on him for being there, so he like tackles him, and he takes off his glasses, and he throws him down the hallway. I thought that was funny. This character's name is Mort. He's like I said, he's the buddy of the main character, Bonehead. And this other guy, his name is Nierman. He's just like a workplace. He's kind of like a suck up to the boss. And the boss is this big meaty guy who wears a smiley face mask because he's always scaring the employees with how angry he looks. So he puts on a smiley face mask. It's kind of the idea. And his name is Mr. Shivers. So this is page 94 out of what's going to be a 230-page book. This comic? Oh yeah. I'm hoping it's worth putting out there by the time I'm done. And everybody's something in this, I feel like. So the main character, let me show you. Here's the main character, is Bonehead. He's got these big buck teeth. And then his buddy Mort is like this devil guy. And then his girlfriend, I probably have a page around here somewhere, is a little ghost girl. Digging through pages. Here we are. That's his girlfriend, Petunia. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're liking it. That's one thing I'll say about. So I've penciled all the pages so far. I'm just inking them one by one at a time, and it was like I would always get like self-conscious, like, oh, maybe this isn't a good story, or maybe this isn't gonna work, or maybe I don't think this is looking good. And then I would like look back at I would go through my stack of pages, and I would I'd like flip through like 20 pages, and I'd be like, no, man, this is gonna work. This is good. This is exciting. So I don't know. So every time I get discouraged, I go flip through the book, and I'm like, I like it. I get a boost of confidence every time I feel like I'm doing a bad job. So far. We'll see. So do you draw? Let Me Sleep. Oh yeah. You were saying you do. You're gonna go to school for that kind of stuff, 2D and 3D VR. Oh, cool. I'm glad to hear you say that. It's gonna be a while before it's done. I was thinking maybe I would maybe in the near future. I'm thinking I might break it up into issues, like because it was never made to be issues, but I was thinking I might do like 24-page issue comics and break it up and do black and white little mini comics of it and put it in a like an Etsy store or something to just to have something to show for it in the meantime. So I got to look into that. You draw people. Oh, celebrities? Cool. Like just do you do like caricatures or like just portraits? Oh, Squid Game. I haven't seen that, but I know my roommates were watching it. The one who would slap people and give them money. It's violent but nice. I heard it was a really good show. My roommates were liking it. Um, deserves the hype, but too much blood. Yeah, I think just like that might be a little bit of what like kept me from checking it out. Maybe I don't know. Not necessarily, but I also kind of things that like everybody's talking about. I tend to find myself not all that interested in for some reason. Like I for that reason, I never checked out Game of Thrones or Walking Dead really, or most of the Marvel movies. Let's see. Yeah. Let me think. What was I liking? Oh, I just saw season 4, part 1 of, what do you call it? Ozark went up on Netflix. That one I like watching. I haven't started the new set of episodes. And I don't know if anybody else was watching that when I started watching it, but then it seemed like it was catching on, like around season 3 maybe. I started to hear other people talking about it. Yeah, I was bummed out that they were only doing one more season, but I guess they split it up because I saw the little ad for it on Netflix yesterday, and it was saying it was just part 1. But lately, I've been watching. What have I been watching? Oh, I've been watching Scrubs and Always Sunny in Philadelphia on Hulu. Mostly because I've been listening to the podcasts, the rewatch podcasts that the the actors have been doing. The last movie I watched, that's where I fall. Like I tend to not watch too many movies, but what was the last movie I watched? I think it was. So there's a bunch of Coen Brothers movies that I like, and I had never seen Raising Arizona, so I watched that one. I thought it was going to be like a serious movie. It's kind of a real goofy movie, but I thought it was pretty good. And the Coen Brothers do like what did they do? Fargo and Burn After Reading was the first one I saw of them, and I really liked that. Isn't there another? Oh, I really like Barton Fink. But yeah, Raising Arizona, I didn't know what to expect going into it, but it's about like Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter, and Nicolas Cage is like he's like always getting into trouble with the law. He's just kind of like this hapless troublemaker, and every time they book him and like put him in a cell, like the Holly Hunter's the officer who like takes his what do you call it, his picture for his what the lineup picture or whatever, and his mugshot, and they kind of like get to know each other and fall in love over the years, and he he swears like he's never going back to jail, and then they're trying to start a family, and she can't have, then she finds out she can't have kids, and this local celebrity um, announces on TV that he's him and his wife have quintuplets, and they get the Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter get the harebrained scheme to take one of his babies because he has so much and they have so little. Is how they justify it. Even though she's is she still a cop at that point? I think she's just like not on the job anymore. But and then he's this allegedly like not gonna go back to jail anymore. But they steal this baby, and it's just like a big comedy of errors. It was pretty entertaining. There was something similar on the news. Was there really? He was they decided to kidnap it, and but I don't know. I think I don't remember how it resolves off the top of my head. I don't want to spoil it either, I guess. Wanted to buy a child. Oh, wow. She thought the child was beautiful, and it was just at a random store. I must have your baby. I'll pay you handsomely for it. She started following the mom and the kid and asked if she could buy the child, that she has 250K in her car. And then she can give another 250K later. Oh, man. It's insane. Can you imagine just being like followed around by someone like that? It was her dream to buy a child. There's proper channels to do that through than just like begging people at the store to let you have theirs. That's so odd. That she got arrested. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to like look that. Oh, pardon me. I'm gonna have to look that story up. That's really funny. Nothing specific that comes to mind, but I've witnessed like weird incidents with like just crazy people at stores where it's like it's like, whoa, what, please go away. Like there was one time, it was like the coldest night of the year. Like I remember it was like the coldest night of the year, and there were two people in the store. Well, there was a couple in the store with their baby, and I was working there. I was working retail, and there was this couple with the baby, and then there was this kind of weird guy who the baby had been crying, but that was all that was in the store, right? Nobody else. Just this couple with their baby, their crying baby. And, they're being respectful. They're minding their own business and just going about their business. And, it's like a less than a year old baby in a car seat in a grocery cart. And this other guy comes up to me and he's like, "Are you just gonna let them stay in the store with that crying baby?" And I was like, they're not hurting anybody. They're checking out. They're not doing any harm. And he's like, "You should kick them out." Yeah. I was like, "No, I'm not gonna kick them out. It's freezing cold. Like, they just need to get some stuff. Like, they're not doing any harm." And he's like, I don't know. He started kind of like raving about how like people shouldn't be able, like, if he can't smoke in stores, they shouldn't be allowed to have their crying baby in stores. And I was like, that's not the same thing. Like, some people are just outlandish and nuts, and I don't know what they're doing in public. Allowed to interact with the public. Yeah, he compared smoking indoors to a crying baby. If he can't smoke in the store. And I'm not sure he even asked to find out what the policy was on that. So for all he knew, no, I'm just kidding. But what an outrageous comparison. Yeah, if he can't smoke indoors, they shouldn't be able to bring their crying baby in from the cold. And they weren't even there that long. Yeah. Did they ever come up with a man Karen? Like a male Karen? Ken? I feel like I've heard one at one point. Let me see. In our store, we dead ass have baby fever every single time there's a baby. Ken. Ken and Karen. Dang it. I probably hit my face on the camera. I just said this yesterday. I hit my face on the camera like once per stream. So everyone has to take a shot every time I hit my face on the camera. Yeah, I'm okay. It's actually just my glasses always hit the corner of it. Couple of the year, Ken and Karen. So do you watch a lot of streams? I watch a lot of like comic artists. Like that's what got me doing this, I think, is I was watching a lot of comic artists just kind of do their job on stream day to day. And this is my hacky version of that. I guess I'm doing all right. Okay. In fact, I was just watching this guy ink this book Doom Kicker on Instagram Live. This artist Elliot Fernandez. I was just watching right before I went live. It's weird. Like I used to watch. I'm starting to watch a lot more TV shows again, but it was like I would watch TV shows all the time and never get anything done. Then I started getting sucked into watching live streams, and then I barely watched any TV for the longest time. But it was the thing I liked was during streams, it was like I felt more free to like work on stuff while I was like listening to them. Yeah. Well, I make it a point to. That is what got me started to begin with. Like I was watching this guy Doug Tenaple and this other guy Brian Shearer and Elliot Fernandez, and like there was this whole like I don't know circle of comic artists that were all doing streams every day, and so I was just watching them and listening to them talk about comics all the time and show how it's done, and I started making it a point to draw every day, and then yeah, I still watch them whenever I can, but now that I'm streaming, I guess I don't watch them as much. What am I doing when I watch them now? I guess it's just like when I'm winding down and going to bed or something, or drawing in my sketchbook. Because for the most part, I try. Well, I was trying to post sketchbook drawings every day, but I've lately I've been falling off that aspect of it. Yeah, it's kind of like a nice white noise for me listening to people kind of talk about the process, especially when I'm drawing in my sketchbook. I just like I listen a lot more than I watch, and then every once in a while I'll look up and I'll be like, oh man, that's looking awesome. I didn't know that's what he was drawing. But now so many artists they're just focusing on making NFTs, it seems like, and it's like I don't understand so much of that it all gets kind of tuned out for me. Like I don't even know what there's too much like lingo and like business talk that I don't understand to listen to that stuff. So a bunch of the artists that I was watching or listening to streams of for the longest time, a lot of them I largely fell off of. What kind of music do I like? I like. I'd say They Might Be Giants is my favorite. I have like everything they ever put out, and I'm a big fan of like kind of a lot of grungy stuff from the '90s. I like Marcy Playground a lot. They're the ones that do that "Sex and Candy" song, and then I like Soul Coughing is one of my favorite bands. And the frontman went on to do a lot in his solo career. His name's Mike Doty. Um, he's one of my favorite musicians. I like the Violent Femmes a lot. There's there's like a Chicago-based rock band called Local H that was kind of big in the '90s. They're one of my favorite bands. What else? If you've ever heard Electric Light Orchestra, they've got so many hits, like from the '70s and '80s, maybe. I like them a lot. Electric Light Orchestra. Metal, I don't know nothing about metal. You know who I like? That's probably closer to that is System of a Down. I like them a lot. You're more into metal? I saw System of a Down in 2006. I went to Ozfest and I went to Sounds of the Underground at the same place like a week later. So I saw a lot of metal bands uh, that week. That was really fun. But I went with a friend of mine who didn't want her second ticket to go to waste. And I don't know why she brought me, but yeah, I always feel like I can listen to anything. Um, Generally, I probably don't listen to much rap or country, but there's a lot of country kind of stuff that I do like. And then like there's a lot of rap sort of stuff that I do like too. Like that guy Mike Doty kind of raps a good bit. Kinda. K-pop, I don't know what K-pop is. I've heard of it. Is it just like it sounds like bubbly, poppy, like ravey music maybe, if I had to guess. Korean pop. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know any. I'll say that. Yeah. I know I've heard about it enough where like it's got to be one of the biggest things right now. I kind of get stuck in my own bubbles with music. There's a Japanese band from the 90s. I don't know much of their music. I mostly have just one EP of theirs, called the Nalories, where they're playing accordion and guitar. They're kind of like associated with They Might Be Giants to me, because that's where I found out about them from. But they're interesting, the Nalories. Do I play any instruments? No. I played violin when I was in elementary school, and that's like my biggest regret was giving that up. And I own a guitar that I tinker around with from time to time, but I do not know how to play the guitar. I try to make. I've made like I've like cooked up some musical tracks from time to time, just like messing with programs and stuff. I'd like to put out an album, even though I'm not a musician, someday. Of like They Might Be Giantsy kind of music, but I regret giving up the violin. No, I wish I never stopped playing the violin. Music Bubble is just it's just like another world. It's the best. Yeah. I like few things make me happy like music can. Oh, there's a band called Drink Me that I really love. They only put out 2 albums. But I really love that band. They're like a really weird band too. But and I was talking earlier about this artist named Betty Boo that I found out about when I found a cassette tape at a thrift store, and I put it in my car's tape player maybe 11 years ago, and I fell in love with her stuff. But she hasn't put out anything in 30 years until this week. She put out a single, and she's going to be doing new albums after 30 years. And I'm really excited about that. But her stuff is kind of like sampley, kind of hip poppy, kind of cutesy girl singing 90s stuff. I don't know. How about you? Do you play any instruments? Used to? Yeah. I just wish I never put down that violin. Because I'm sure like if you know how to play a stringed instrument, it translates, like once you're like very familiar with it, I'm sure it transfers over to other instruments pretty seamlessly for the most part. Oh, cool. Did you do metal-y stuff? I'll say when I went to that Sounds of the Underground show where I saw System of a Down, I also saw Guar perform, and that was the most insane show I ever saw. They're all dressed like big monsters, and they're playing like a like a human body as a guitar or something. There's a dinosaur that came out on stage and they're spraying like blue blood all over the audience. That was insane. Guar is insane. More rock than metal. Okay. Cool. I I liked it. I thought it was a riot. I can't even remember their music because I was so fascinated with the show itself that they were putting on. And also, like, throughout the day, they were just like walking around in the crowd in the giant costumes, which was fun. Oh, I loved it. But it was like I like I said, I don't even know what their music was like. I mean, exactly. Like I couldn't recall anything about any of their songs because it was such a like a visual show in front of you. And I wasn't close enough to get sprayed with stuff from the band, but yeah, it's if anyone ever gets the chance to be at a Guar show, to see a Guar performance in person, I say go for it. I saw, who else did I see at that thing? I saw Ozzy. I think it was one of his last Ozfests that I went to in 2006. Though I think he probably has. It was supposed to be his last at the time, but I'm pretty sure he's gone to several ones since then. I probably would if I was asked to go with somebody. I would probably go again. Yeah. I saw Dragon Force, which I don't remember exactly, but I just remember they had really elaborate guitar music. You know what that kind of reminds me of? That just how their band is made up of characters. Got me thinking of the Gorillas, which I really like. I'd like to see the Gorillas. I'd like to look into the Gorillas more. I have an album of theirs, and I've heard a bunch of their music. Yeah, the Gorillas. They do that Clint Eastwood song that was really big for a bit. Feel Good. What is it called? Feel Good Inc. And I don't know. They're like cartoon characters, though. I refuse to look into them too deeply because I want to believe cartoon characters. They did do you remember MTV Cribs? Where they'd go to the like musician's house and they'd give a tour of their place and show you all the cool things going on in their house. The Gorillas did an episode as their character, like it was like they were animated into the show, if I recall. And like in all their videos, they're animated, and but I don't want the fantasy spoiled that they're actually a cartoon band. So I won't look into them too deeply. But I think every time they do a video, it gets like a little like more high end and looking. They were pretty cool. Oh, you never heard of them? They were big around 2000 to 2006 or so. I always hear artists talk about Jamie Hewlett, the guy that does that draws the characters. But it's like whoever the real musicians are, they're kind of like hidden under, like you don't really know who the real musicians are because they are portrayed as these 4 cartoon characters. Let me see if I've got one of their albums around here somewhere. Here. Like these guys. Oh, the CD is falling apart. Or the cases. This is the first. See, like it's stuff like that. Like they're in the picture. Has like a cartoon character in the real world. That's kind of their aesthetic. But yeah, Demon Days. And then they had, yeah, you've probably seen the characters before. There's that song that boom, 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 boom. Ooh, 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 ooh. I ain't happy, feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. That was their biggest hit. Yeah. I think they're cool. I like that album. Lately, I've been getting the song "Kids with Guns" stuck in my head a lot. So where are you? Let me sleep. I'm in Illinois. Oh, you're in Canada? there's another Twitch viewer that I've been talking to, who's from Quebec. I believe I'm saying that right. Normally I would say Quebec, but I've been trying to say Quebec because I think that's proper. You're from Quebec. Now, are you now I'm like, what's the other person's name? Am I talking to no. Are you a native French speaker? Uh-huh. You're originally from Egypt. Holy smokes. That's awesome. So how long have you been living in Canada? Ten years. Now, what is there like an Egyptian language? I don't even know. Like, you're in Africa, right? Arabic. Okay. Oh, I knew that. I did know somebody from Egypt for a little while. I knew that. Okay. There's an Egyptian dialect. Do I speak another language? No, I wish. I was trying to learn Spanish in high school, and I did one semester pretty well. The second semester, not so well. And my mom speaks Gaelic. My mom's from an island off of the mainland in Ireland. So, I mean, they mostly speak English there, but when she was growing up, they were all expected to know Gaelic, but I don't think children there are expected to learn Gaelic anymore. So it's like I think it's a currently dying language. But my mom speaks it, and she's always trying to, or she's always saying she wishes she taught us Gaelic growing up. I did kind of give up on Spanish. I mean, I could have a barely passable conversation with a Spanish speaking person if I needed to, as I do sometimes. Where I know enough to probably communicate what I need, um, like bare minimum wise, but but I am by no means fluent. And I had tried teaching after high school. I tried teaching myself French for a few months, but I think it didn't seem too pressing after a while. That I definitely gave up on pretty quickly. But I was teaching myself through podcasts and stuff. I know how to say like all kinds of mean things in Gaelic because it's all the stuff my mom would yell at us when we were growing up. So it's like, Vedama kicks a thon is I'm gonna kick your ass. And I didn't know what Shkreta Wenort meant my whole life until I was like 22 or something. I was like, Mom, there's all these little phrases I know, but I never thought to ask what Shkreta Wenort means. And you say that to us all the time. What's that about? And she's like, oh, that just means like a million curses on your head, a million screams on your head. I was like, oh, okay. So that's what you've been saying to me all these years. Shkreta Wenort. Or Shkreta Mila Wenort. The Mila is the million. But my mom used to speak French as well. She learned French in school. She doesn't know it so well now, but she still can say a lot of stuff. Yeah. So do you speak English, French, and Arabic? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was liking it when I was learning it, but it first of all it wasn't so practical to even know. Like I don't know how much use I would have gotten out of it here, but though I do have one of my good friends. She, I guess she probably, I think she was taking French classes throughout high school, and learned French in school, and then she recreationally taught herself German, and then eventually married a German guy. But I forget where I was going with that. But yeah, she maintained the German, even though pretty much nobody out here is speaking. Or I'm sorry. Well, she maintained the German and the French is what I was really talking about, because I was saying it didn't seem so practical to know French, but she still knows how to speak French and says stuff in French like randomly all the time. Yeah. That was my problem in my teens and my 20s. It was like I just didn't follow through on much. I wish I was more dedicated like her. So, oh wait, I was thinking I was done, but I'm gonna go in with a smaller pen and get these finer details on this guy. A Bonehead. I'll go with this one. Yeah, after the fact, I always, like when I go to erase the pencils, I always find stuff that I missed on when I was inking it on stream. There's almost always lines I have to go back and do. But yeah, I think that's gonna be the page. Okay, so that's page 94, and I think I'm gonna come on later today and do another one at some point. But that's the plan. That's the plan. I'm trying to do multiple pages today and tomorrow if I can, because I was trying to hit a goal of getting to page 109 by the end of the month, but I've missed a handful of days for various reasons so far, and haven't gotten as many pages done as I wanted to. And I'm trying to just hold myself to certain goals so I kind of keep myself moving at a good pace, but it's all self-imposed deadlines. But I'm trying to hit page 109, and I'm only on 90. I've only just finished 94, so no one's going to beat me up if I don't, though. Yeah, so 95 maybe later today is what I'm thinking. What I really wanted to do is 95 and 96, but before the day is up. But I don't want to promise it because I've been really bad about hitting my promises on these streams lately. But anyway, I'll probably be back later today, though. It was nice meeting you, Sleep. Thank you for keeping me company and chatting with me. Good to meet you. I'll be back. I'm here mostly every day, and I'll probably be back later today. Yeah, thank you. I'm Ryan O'Connor, drawing my book Bonehead, here on Twitch and YouTube at Wrangleshank.